And welcome to Chop It Up Sports. I'm your host, Robbie Jones, and I got my boys here. As you can see, they're Cowboy fans, Darryl and Keith. So we'll be right back. Let's chop it up.
Welcome to the Chop It Up Sports Cafe, where the food's fire, the takes are spicy, and the debates. You got Robbie, the die-hard Steelers fan who can't stand the Cowboys. He bleeds black and gold and got a PhD in hating on Dallas. Then there's Darryl and Keith, two Cowboy fans who swear every single year it's their year to go to the Super Bowl. Whether they're arguing over fourth quarter calls, tasting wings hotter than Texas pavement, or talking trash like it's the playoffs, they're keeping it 100 and never backing down. So pull up a chair, grab your plate, and bring your wildest take. This is Chop It Up Sports Cafe, where football, food, and funny go hand in hand. Let's get it.
And welcome back to Chop It Up Sports. Like I said, I got my boys here, and I say boys, I say that lightly. Cowboys. Fellas, what's going on?
The Cowboys.
Doing well, Mr. Jones. How you doing this morning?
Man, I'm doing great, man. I'm doing great.
Good, good.
You know we're going to the Super Bowl. Right?
Well, let me explain to y'all what's going on, okay? Every football season, throughout the whole year, all of us are on chat. And, of course, they're bragging about their Cowboys, and I'm bragging about my Steelers. So we decided to do this video podcast to talk a little junk. But what really got me inspired was a picture that was sent to me about one of my compadres here. Check the picture out. Look at that. Look at that, guys. Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers ain't 138 years old. Come on, man. What's up with that, man?
Well, I mean, last time I checked, they said he was drawing Social Security or he was at least in the line. So I just thought I'd seen that picture just to give you an idea of, what y'all were getting.
Well, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but because you know how you always got to carry receipts. So
Okay.
I do remember.
I did.
I do remember towards the end of the season, at the end of the season last year, somebody saying they wanted to get Aaron Rodgers.
I wanted Aaron Rodgers for 1 year. I wanted to trade Dak to somewhere and we can afford Aaron Rodgers. I said it, and I told my good friend Darryl and his brother Garland Best. I give a shout out to Garland. They looked at me like I was crazy. We were at a funeral, and they said, "Man, you crazy." And I didn't want to argue with both of them.
Yeah.
They told me they didn't want him. So if they don't want him, I don't want him.
Well,
But you want him now.
I do want him because it's better than
He
anything
still got
that
an
we had.
arm. He still got
Still got
an
an arm, but to sidetrack a little bit, because I know we was going to start talking about the state of the Cowboys. Why y'all so hard on Dak?
Well, it's not necessarily being hard on him, it's just the facts. Being able to see for years that Dak is, and what I would say, a little bit above average. He just can't get seem like things together enough where he can make an impact or a deep run in the playoffs. And, for him to be, Dallas Cowboy quarterback, I think he should be able to at least get us to the NFC Championship game. Super Bowl, I won't holler Super Bowl, but if I can see progress to where we make it to the NFC Championship game, I would be more apt to say, he's capable of taking us there. But right now, I hadn't seen that.
Well, I hadn't. We've talked about that before. Personally, he's a decent quarterback. It seems like every year y'all blame everything on Dak.
Well, here's the deal, Robbie. I say it all the time, and I tell Darryl, in the off season, if I was Dak and I'm making $60 million, whatever, I would hire a quarterback coach to help me be better. I've seen coaches that take you out there in the ocean and anywhere to learn how to be a quarterback because he don't have all the intangibles.
Yeah.
So this year we are hopeful. With the weapons we got, we are hopeful.
So y'all heard what he just said. This year we hopeful, and that's the thing about Cowboy fans. Every year gonna be their year. Every year. Check out this meme real quick.
We them boys. We making noise. We going to the Super Bowl, baby. It's our year. But riddle me this, Batman. If everybody always had to talk about the Dallas Cowboys and the Dallas Cowboys ain't won a Super Bowl in 30 years, please explain to me what's taking your team so long to catch up. Some of y'all teams ain't got no Super Bowls. Some of y'all teams only got 1 Super Bowl, and my Dallas Cowboys got 5 Super Bowls. Now, I wasn't the greatest student in math class, but I know 5 is greater than whatever your team has. So please explain to me what's taking your team for catching up. I ain't trying to hear none of that. It's our year, baby.
And that's what I'm saying. Why is it that every year y'all swear y'all going to the Super Bowl? Because it's been, if I'm not mistaken, and I'm gonna bring my boy Ant out here to while Anthony Spencer out here, and he gonna talk to you about it. Because we was talking about this the other day. It's been how many years? I was talking. Listen, Darryl ain't gonna teach you. I was talking. Do you understand the last time the Cowboys went to the Super Bowl, they was just coming out with floppy disk, floppy disk. Think about that, floppy disk.
When was the last time you won the Super Bowl?
We won it. We the last time we went was 2011.
When the last time you won it?
2010, 9? Yeah, 2009 beat the Cardinals. So
now y'all complacent being 8-8.
Well,
9-8.
and that's fine too. But
9-8 is y'all number, right?
But we don't scream as Steelers fans every year we going to the Super Bowl like y'all do.
No, what you scream is your coach ain't never had a losing season. That's what I'm getting tired of. That's losing to Cowboy standards.
Okay, let's move on. Let's move on. Okay. Now, speaking of Dallas and Steelers, y'all got somebody from us this year. That's what got y'all excited. My son's a diehard Cowboy fan. Woke me up that morning. Hey, Dad, what's going on? I'm like, what, man? Man, y'all just gave us George Pickens. So how y'all feel about that?
I love it. I think it's giving the Cowboys a new dimension as far as the receiving core. I think one of the things that people haven't realized that will probably materialize is the other receiver, Turpin. He'll be able to utilize his talents more. So I think he'll have a breakout season. He's a very quick, nifty type receiver. So now that you got Pickens that'll be able to, distract or pull away from the defensive coverage, I think we'll see a lot of opportunity, which is going to give Dak more opportunity, right? Yeah. So at the end of it all, I think this year Dak will have a very good shot at his passing game.
Well, there's some cons to come with that too, because we had George Pickens,
yeah,
and thank y'all for the 3rd round.
Yes.
Pick, but we had him. He was our number 1 option, but you're gonna have to take the good and the bad. He was an undisciplined player. I think he was fined over $200,000, for showing up late to practice, in-game stuff. Also, did you know? Y'all remember they played Christmas Day, and I think they played the Kansas City Chiefs in Kansas City. Do you know he showed up to the game an hour and a half before the game, but he had the attitude because we suck at wide receiver. What y'all gonna do? And some of the players were even complaining about it, but he was the best thing that they had. Now, I will give you this. I think he's going to be okay in Dallas because he has CD to teach him. In Pittsburgh, he didn't have nobody to teach him.
Makes sense.
So I think he's going to be a little bit better. In Dallas, I don't think it's going to make your team that much better.
Well, what you got to remember too, a player like Pickens, coaching is like parenting almost, right?
Okay.
And Pittsburgh, I don't think at the time, or last season.
He can get, give me a word. What's the big word? We know you went to A&T, man. Hey, go on. You see, you tell us start getting, we start getting like that.
They didn't have the tools to be able to, handle somebody like Pickens, right? So that's what they got. They got,
And Dallas do.
I think Dallas.
Oh, stop.
I think Dallas is.
And Dallas do.
Yes.
You're telling me the Dallas Cowboys is a place where you can go have discipline?
I am telling you that.
Come on, bro. Are you serious?
Pickens himself has already acknowledged that things are different, that he sees things in a different light since being
there.
You know, at
He's
Dallas.
a happy
And
Cowboy.
another thing too, wearing the star on the helmet.
Oh
This
my
right here-
God, man!
Yeah.
You see,
This right here, this really means something, right? So I think
Integrity.
Yes, I think Pickens has, picked up on that, and I think we're going to see a different player, not only on the field but off the field.
Hey, Robbie, I got a question for you.
yes, sir.
Is Andy Reid a good coach?
Andy
Andy
Reid.
Reid, tell me about.
He's a good coach.
You know what Andy Reid does every year?
What's that?
Go get the problem player, give him 1 year.
Well.
So he has won a Super Bowl, right?
Okay, so we.
So,
So,
he won, hold up. He's won a Super Bowl, right?
yeah.
What do you know about Michael Vick? When he picked Michael Vick up after the dog fight.
So,
What do you remember? You remember Kareem Hunt when he got signed to the Chiefs?
so we
Isaiah Bugs, Rasheed Rice.
talk to you, boy. Slide over so you can get in that camera.
I
Slide
mean,
over there.
so Andy Reid gives them 1 deal.
Okay, so we comparing Andy Reid to your head coach.
No, you talking about taking a player.
No.
That's a problem player. He does it every year.
Listen, guys. I'm gonna tell you, I hate to bust your bubble. I actually like George Pickens. George Pickens is gonna come in saying the right thing because it's a new team. What is he gonna come in talking junk? He's not gonna do that. Plus, this is his contract year. He's a fool to go in there and start ranting and raving. Plus, he's not the number one option, so he's got to be humble. But you wait. You wait. As you just wait till around week 3 or week 4. If he's not getting passes thrown to him, you watch his attitude.
So am I hearing you say on record that after, let's say, 4 games, then we'll see the true George Pickens?
If things aren't going his way, you're going to see the true George. Listen, why do you think he went late second round in a couple of years ago in that draft? He's a number 1 receiver, but he went second round because they had problems with him in Georgia. So there was already something coming with his name. So that's why Pittsburgh said, whoa, whoa, whoa. And then they bit and they took him. He didn't just start this. This started back when he was in Georgia.
The greatest basketball player, Michael Jordan, of all time to me, the GOAT, would fight his teammates for being mediocre. So here's what I'm saying.
Ladies and gentlemen.
You got a panel, Darryl Best, you ready to bring on a guy and myself that don't like losing. And you apparently like losing. We don't like losing. So Pickens is what we want. We want him.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I want you to hear it. He's comparing Andy Reid to his head coach and George Pickens to Michael Jordan.
The Eagles even did it.
George Pickens to Michael Jordan.
Jalen Carter.
Y'all know that don't even make any
Jalen
sense.
Carter got in trouble. Didn't they pick him? Didn't they draft him?
But as usual, Cowboy fans are going hope and dream and have all this hope at the beginning of the season, and it always wind up.
Well, that's what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to have a certain level of confidence and wanting our team to excel.
No,
Okay,
there's a
so
difference between wanting your team to excel and being real.
Well, no. If things don't work out that way, then we have to regroup and try it again. But at the end of the day, a winner, right?
No, they had never had a losing season.
A winner,
Their coach.
right, continues to. That's the goal, to win.
Yeah, I understand that. Listen.
No, you can't understand it.
Y'all, we're gonna talk about this we've been going through this for months. We're gonna talk about this for days.
For years.
But what we can do is we're gonna take a quick break, get a couple minutes from our sponsors. We'll be right back after this.
Mom! Mom!
What's wrong? Girl, why you slap? Oh, you must be eating some Mario's.
Hungry for flavor that hits hard? Roll up to DeMario's food truck
where the wings are crispy, the turkey legs are tender, and the ribs fall off the bone. Soul food so good, it'll make you want to slap yourself. Follow the smoke, follow the flavor. DeMario's is cooking up love one plate at a time. DeMario's, food so good, make you want to slap yourself.
All right, welcome back to Chop It Up Sports. We're here with my two good friends, and even one of them that's sitting in the middle is delusional. We're going to allow him to at least give us his team pick for the season, his regular season, what their record would be. So, Robbie,
Yeah.
what do you think the Steelers will finish at in the regular season?
Well, of course, Mike Tomlin never has a losing season. We won with quarterbacks like Duck Hodges and Anthony Spence. No, I'm just kidding. That's my boy. We won with some no-name quarterbacks. So we got Aaron Rodgers.
The name quarterback don't do nothing.
Did you ask me the question?
Oh,
Well, yeah.
Okay.
Okay,
So we got Aaron Rodgers. We got and look, as Stephen A. Smith say, he's a bad man.
Okay,
We
so-
got A-Rod this year. So if we can win 9 and 10 games with weak quarterbacks, Aaron Rodgers is gonna guarantee us maybe 2 games. So I'm seeing us winning about 11 or 12 games this year. Now, am I predicting us to be better than the Baltimore Ravens? They are loaded. They are loaded. Lamar Jackson is a beast.
Right.
They are loaded.
Right.
So I predict us to possibly come in second, but we beat them every year. We always split. But I'm looking at maybe 11, or 12 wins.
who's Aaron Rodgers throwing the ball to? That hasn't been on the news.
We got DK Metcalf.
That one player.
We got DK Metcalf. We got DK Metcalf.
That one player.
We got DK Metcalf.
What's on the opposite side?
We got DK Metcalf. That's all. That's
Can you
all.
imagine having DK and Pickens?
We had Russell Wilson and Justin Fields last year, who don't compare to Aaron Rodgers and George Pickens, and we won 10 games.
Why didn't you make them quarterbacks wide receivers? Because you need a wide receiver. You need a second target.
Hey, television audience, see, this is what I'm saying. See, this is why, because we start talking about, and they all, anyway, we go, let's move on. Let's move on. Let's move on. So you tell me about your team. What's your prediction for your team?
Okay.
Man, I predict we're not gonna be third. The Eagles still have the nucleus to repeat.
Say that again.
We're not gonna be third. So if your next guest come up here and say we're gonna be third, we're not. And we're not gonna be fourth because the Giants, our whole division would be the best
I
division.
understand that. So you
We
said,
will be one of our teams will be in the Super Bowl.
how many games you winning?
11.
How many games you winning?
12.
And y'all come in what place?
Second.
Second.
And don't be surprised if we
I'm
come
packing
in
my stuff.
first.
I'm packing my stuff.
Because
I'm leaving.
because
I'm
there's
packing
a
my
history in our
Now here's the thing.
I'm packing. My girl Talamika is sitting over there. She runs this whole thing.
Yes.
Can you get somebody to sit there for me? Because I'm
so-
leaving.
wait a minute.
Did you say y'all might come in first?
That's right. And here's the reason why I say that is because when Dallas and Washington play,
Here's that A&T
all
stuff
right,
again.
all right, when they play, there's no telling who's going to win the game. Now, when you look at the talent that the Commanders or Redskins, however y'all want to call them, when you look at who they have acquired, which half the team is Dallas and the coaching staff, but we ain't gonna talk about that. You know what I'm saying? I mean, if they want to be called, the Dallas Commanders, I'm okay with it because that's what they, that's what they got anyway. So they got half our team. Anyway, so at the end of the day, Dallas, could come out, a split or, 2-0. Same thing with the Eagles. I think what's going to really be important for Dallas is to make sure that they secure some of these, wins that they let get by them, right? They're going to be up for Philly. They're going to be up for Washington. But it's some of these other teams that we may travel to that I want to make sure that, we take care of business. But at the end of the day, I'm giving them 12 wins. You heard it first from me. Boom.
Okay.
And look, but Robbie, here's what I need to point out. Since 2005, 6 or 5, nobody has repeated in our division. So so that might be a curse to win the division. Since 2005, prior to that, Cardinals and the Eagles showed some dominance, and we did too for 3 years. So what I'm telling you is, don't look for us not to win on September the 4th. I will be there. I will be in
Right,
Brandon.
Y'all open up with Philly
Brandon,
too.
I'll be in
Oh, that's
Brandon
gonna be
Graham's
good to me.
suite, hanging out with the Eagles.
Oh,
And
that's
I
gonna
do
be
hang with
good.
them because
Yeah, he knows Brandon. That's his boy. That's his boy. Now, I said I wasn't gonna bring this up, but I'm gonna bring it up real quick. But y'all know Keith's an undercover Philly fan. I don't know if you knew that or not.
I don't hate them. So I.
Well, you know
I
what?
don't like them, but I don't hate
But
them.
that's a blessing in disguise to you because they gonna come in first in your division. So you gonna be happy anyway. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. With my fact checker over there, tell who won the Super Bowl last year?
The Eagles.
Philly. Philly won the Super Bowl last. What's changed within 2 or 3 months? Nothing. Nothing.
We know that.
So who came in second last year? The Commanders.
Commanders.
What's changed?
No, they didn't come in second.
Yeah, they did. They came in second. They came. That's like I say. You hear the voice off stage, but they came in second. In the what's changed? Nothing. The only thing that's changed with Dallas is you got a new coach. You got a better
We
receiver.
don't have a new coach. We got a coach that came out of the coaching staff
Okay.
from last year.
Okay.
So we don't have a new coach.
Okay.
We have made some upgrades.
Yeah, you do. Your
Okay.
defense still.
We
horrible,
have
but
made
you-
some upgrades. I think our offensive line will be better this year.
This year,
Our defense, we brought in a few things. We got Dante Fowler back.
Okay.
I think so.
Well-
We can compete to the point where we'll wind up beating either one of those teams.
Well, and I understand that because we split with the Ravens every year. I get that. You won't win a division, and I'm just being factual. You won't win it. You're not better than Philly. You're not better than Philly. You won't be
On
better than Philly.
9-4, Philadelphia going
You
down.
will not be better than Philly. Philly will win the division. okay?
Labor Day weekend, tune in.
So let's get this straight before we go to our next segment. 11 or 12 games for Dallas.
Yes.
You saying you guys are coming in what place?
Second.
Second in the division?
Yes.
In the division, second place. Y'all heard it right here. We'll be right back.
From baby showers to beautiful receptions, graduations to unforgettable birthdays. When it comes to making memories magical, Jones Girls Decor delivers every time. Owned by the dynamic mother-daughter duo, Joan and Erica, they specialize in turning your dream into a reality. Weddings, holidays, special events, whatever the moment, they bring the magic. Jones Girls Decor, making your dream a reality.
Thank you, Jones Girls Decor.
And welcome back to Chop It Up Sports. Got a great man here, Mr. Anthony Spence, who came in town, blessed us with some Wilbur's barbecue, some of the best barbecue in town. My friend, how you doing?
Old but happy.
Old but happy, old but happy. What we like to do here, you're gonna see on some of the other segments that we do is we like to taste food, we like to grade it. We'll either give it a touchdown, a 3-point field goal, or a challenge flag if it ain't that good. All right, y'all on board?
Let's do it.
All right, let's have it. Now, while you guys go ahead and dig in and find out what's going on, man, talk to me about yourself, man. What you been up to, brother?
Nothing much, man. Just trying to enjoy life as much as I can. The girls are out of the house and in college now, so
Okay.
a little bit more time for myself. Still working pretty hard. I have a sports agency where I have to represent guys who are playing in the NBA and overseas of a company called 540 Sports.
Yeah.
But most of the time, when I'm not working, you can either find me in the swimming pool, swimming every day. I still love swimming, and pickleball is
Pickleball. I knew
become
he
my
was
next hobby, man.
Hey, when I called him yesterday, this ain't a word, I had Miss Hicks. He was pickleballing. He was pickleballing, man. Talk to me about this sport.
I used to play basketball every morning at 5 o'clock every morning. And a guy by the name of Lane Etheridge, who they came into Lifetime to start working, wanted to start developing and growing the sport. Lifetime picked up pickleball as a sport. They put courts in every Lifetime around the country. And he called me over one day and says, why don't you just come over and try to play it? We played everything as kids. So with the tennis background, it was just a natural migration over to the other side. And after hitting the ball for the first couple of times, I was kind of addicted to it.
Okay.
And so being that you get a little bit older, a little heavier, body don't move the same, you can't push people around like you used to on the court.
Yeah,
Well,
man.
I can, but it ain't worth it.
Yeah.
And a lot of the fights that guys would have, the 30, 25-year-old kids would go out, want to argue, didn't have time for it. So pickleball was just one of those things where I can go over, play with somebody from the age of 12 all the way up to 80 years old, man. It's a good social environment, just a whole lot of fun.
Yeah, I've never played. Heard it was fun. I don't know if I have the stamina.
Oh, it's easy. You don't move as much.
Yeah,
Okay.
Sam Jones from Southern Wayne, she plays a lot.
Oh, yeah.
Is she in town?
Yeah, she's on my face. She's my Facebook friend.
Okay.
Shout out to Sam Jones.
Sam.
Great Sam
Yeah,
Jones,
man.
Southern Wayne. We give you that respect.
Yeah. Speaking of that, speaking of basketball stars, overseas, this man was known as the rebound king. You know?
No, not before overseas.
Yeah, I forgot. Howard
1988
University.
1988, Darryl pointed out to me his name was on the top of the rebounding, NCAA #1.
Yeah, well.
So don't wait till they got over there.
But I'm gonna tell
Well,
y'all,
wait till
we,
they get-
we need to get something straight right now on air, fellas.
Okay.
We need to get this straight right now.
Let's get it straight.
There was an incident that happened at a basketball game. There was somebody was playing. One of our homeboys, they ain't calling no name. They was getting ready to get into a fight. And talk to me, Darryl. Well, y'all gonna help the brother out?
Oh, we were going in.
We were going in.
Yeah.
Talk to me about that story, guys, while I eat my food. What happened?
Well, it was Howard versus North Carolina A&T. And of course, me and Keith went, to the game, but we actually came to see our homeboy.
All right.
And while the game was going on, a little altercation broke out. And at first, I didn't really see what was going on. And Keith was like, "Hey man, that's Anthony. That's Anthony who? Our homeboy." So we were already trying to make our way down to the court.
To the
you know what I'm saying, to make sure that they didn't get jumped.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day,
So 40 years later,
Where you
40
from?
years later, he didn't mad at them because he didn't think they were going to help him out, and all of a sudden today,
we were going in.
We were going in. And I never told him to the day. I
Yeah.
never told him.
Yeah.
One thing I know about Goldsboro is that we can fight each other, but you can't.
All right.
That's just like family.
You can, and we have an incredible way of making up after we fight, but I
Yeah.
can't make up with you.
Yeah, There you go. There you go.
Is that something?
Yeah.
Yeah, I appreciate my DB has been my guy, Keith,
Yeah.
since we were babies, man. So, I looked up to him. They, actually, Keith has always been, no disrespect, one of the biggest advocates for everyone who's ever done anything in Goldsboro. And, some people call it cheerleading, but I call it leading from the front. A lot of times when people need something and they need some inspiration, Keith was always there. But this guy over here, I just wish I was him when I was a kid because he had so much talent. It used to drive me up the wall. But, Tal, this one right here, we've been boys for a
That's my boy.
long time. And I don't care where I went or where he went, we always kind of find a way to gravitate back towards each other. So thank you for inviting me.
Hey,
guys.
yes, sir. Yes,
I
sir.
appreciate being here.
Yeah. Now see that you're here now. Y'all see what kind of shirt he got on. He old school.
Which is the negative part of the visit.
Darryl, slide over this way just a little bit, but just a little bit. Yeah,
I
they
think
can
y'all
get
call
ready.
the Commanders now, right?
Yeah.
I don't care what y'all want to call them. I'm going to call them the Redskins. I grew up on them.
Yeah.
I don't know it any other way. I suffered with the Redskins.
Yeah.
A lot.
A lot.
A lot. Yeah.
I've enjoyed a lot of wonderful things, but the mere fact that we beat the devil out of the Cowboys
When?
last year, twice.
No.
Huh?
No, did they beat us twice there?
No, but we went to the playoffs. That's beating the Cowboys.
Oh, okay.
Because I do
That's
remember.
beating them twice.
I do remember Turpin.
They did win the last game. They won
They
the
won the
last
last game. I do remember Turpin picking the ball up,
Cowboy fans
dropping the
believe.
ball, picking it up, and then take it off.
Yeah.
And he ran it all the way back.
But that's okay.
Well-
But beating the Cowboys for me,
It was a shootout.
beating the Cowboys for me is like winning the Super Bowl.
You're right.
And having a
You're right.
better year than
You're
the
right.
Cowboys is like having a Super Bowl.
Say-
So
say-
I'm
say-
10-0 right now against the Cowboys.
Wait,
I don't care
beating-
what the record was last year.
Beating the Cowboys, said it to the people in the back. They didn't hear you. Beating the Cowboys is like what?
It's like winning the Super Bowl.
Oh, okay.
End of
We
story.
have a goal every year.
That's-
winning season if we beat.
We don't care
We were
about the
1 and
Super Bowl.
14. We beat the Commanders.
Okay.
That's it.
Good year.
Okay.
It's a great year because
Yeah.
and I respect that. I mean, I have absolutely nothing bad to say about the Cowboys except for it's a trash organization.
Oh,
Led by and I say this respectfully because I don't know if he is or not, an alleged not so liking us type of leader. They stay true to their true colors, which is I'm going to ride this thing until the wheels fall off, regardless of how bad it is.
Yeah.
You talk about coaching. Dee brought up the fact that the coach was a hire from inside. Well, he's still a new coach.
yeah.
And he's still got some things he needs to go on, but he also coached for the Redskins too, so he might go in there and sabotage the wheel.
Darryl, didn't you tell me that somebody had all our players? It was them?
Oh yeah.
Who name them? Name them players.
He got a
you said
mouth
they
full
got.
of food. He can't talk right now. He got a mouth.
Oh, wait, when you finish, because Darryl is the man. He's the guru.
But do you know why the Redskins have a bunch of Cowboy players?
We got rid of
Because
him.
y'all didn't know what to do with them.
Ouch.
Y'all had no coaching.
Well,
you had
I need you.
you had no front office. You did not know how to organize a team, build strategy,
Preach.
chemistry, and loyalty.
Preach.
And if they were loyal, they wouldn't want to go play for the Redskins.
Preach.
Oh, sorry, the Commanders. My bad.
Now,
Dan Quinn was the deciding factor for.
And he one of us, ain't he?
Yeah.
All right.
Dan Quinn was the deciding factor for players to leave and go there, right? So the mistake, and I will be on record in saying that Dallas made a huge mistake by letting Dan Quinn leave the organization.
No, his last game, I would let him leave.
No.
The Dallas game, we didn't have no defense.
Well, it really wasn't even about that particular game per se. For me, it was when Dan Quinn, what's the coach name? Our coach name?
Schottenheimer?
No.
Oh,
Yes,
I'm
yeah.
talking about last year.
Oh, God.
McCarthy.
Okay, I knew it was something like that.
Yeah.
You know. Anyway.
That's a shame. You don't even know the coach name.
No, I
Didn't have
I
to.
just wanted y'all to tell me. When he was out sick, do y'all remember that?
I do.
And Dan Quinn took over, as the interim head coach, right?
Yeah.
He motivated the team, and we won some games, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But at the end of the season, all right, they knew, that they were going to have to make a decision to either get rid of McCarthy and keep Dan Quinn, or let Dan Quinn walk. And they let him walk. Now it's coming back to bite him because not only did he walk, but there were some key players that walked with him.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So yes, I agree.
But that's the
It
history
was-
of an organization.
That's right. I agree.
Whoa.
That's the history. They let key people walk that they know
Well,
was good for building a quality culture.
Wait, whoa. Why don't you talk about the Herschel Walker trade?
What about it?
Darryl told me about the Herschel Walker trade.
What about it?
We won them Super Bowls because we got rid of Herschel Walker and
Well,
got a lot
it
more.
was a blockbuster trade.
It was a
But
blockbuster,
now,
but-
here's what you got to remember too. That was a Jimmy Johnson motivated strategy.
it was.
Jimmy Johnson is the one that said they needed to trade him.
Yeah.
and brought all those picks in. You know, got all those guys, Russell Maryland, all of those, Emmitt Smith,
Yeah.
all of those picks, Troy Aikman.
Yeah.
Actually,
That was
Michael
genius.
Irvin, the three Super Bowl winning players,
I'm
right?
trying to tell you.
Yeah.
See, Darryl was my
Jimmy
leader.
Johnson actually orchestrated.
Yeah.
But he was the
But-
genius.
but-
He was
but-
the architect of that.
And I ain't mean to cut y'all, but you when your only success you thinking about is 35, 40, 50 years ago, that lets you know about what kind of state of mind your team is in. Y'all bringing up stuff, you know, the last time you remember success
Robbie.
was that many years ago. Hold up, because I'll let y'all talk and I ain't said nothing. But y'all understand what I'm saying, audience. But they swear they gonna win every year, but they gonna refer back to 95, you know, when Sega Genesis and all that stuff first came out. Oh, I wasn't Star Trek 2 was out when they last time they won, they won the last Super Bowl. But I digress.
Right.
But
we all went to one high school. Was our high school dominant in basketball?
who was dominating everything?
Okay, we dominate everything. How many championships did the great, and I respect him, how many championships did the great Norvell Lee win?
None.
He didn't win.
But were we dominant? And
But-
the Cowboys don't have to win to be great. We don't have to win.
So for
Robbie.
those of y'all who don't know Norvell Lee, he's coach in our area, great coach in our area. I know we live in a small town, but I want y'all to understand this. And first of all, he's comparing the Philadelphia Eagles, the Kansas City Chiefs coach to their coach. Then Michael Jordan, George Pickens. Now he's comparing the record of a great head basketball coach to them the last 30,
'Cause I'm a genius.
30, 45 years. Maybe y'all can
I'm a genius, Robbie. I'm not going to say things
Hey,
that sound like something a Pittsburgh fan would like.
we're going to move on.
So to that point, you know, since we're talking football, Goldsboro had dominant football teams as well too, and they had a pretty good football program that had great players that's gone off to do great things. But they also had a culture, an underculture, a subculture that kept the teams from winning to a degree that they could have won. So at the end of the day, when you take a look at the Dallas Cowboys and Washington Redskins that use those two organizations, the difference between the Cowboys and the Redskins right now is not talent, it's culture. When we got rid of that negative cancer in that culture, in the Commanders' culture, changing ownership, what happened? We ascended. Until Dallas changes their culture, they will not ascend. And you can take a look at any professional sports franchise. You look at the Boston Celtics, the Los Angeles Lakers, the San Antonio Spurs, Golden State Warriors. It's all cultural. You look at the Kansas City Chiefs. You look at, you know, the New England Patriots. Culture. Even when Tom Brady,
Whoa. New England Patriots?
they had a culture of winning.
No, they had a culture of cheating.
Oh, man.
Look, that whatever it takes to win.
There you go.
Whatever it takes
You
to
ain't
win.
cheating, you ain't trying.
Hey, Darryl, let's try it. The Cowboys going to try that.
And you know this, every team cheats.
Every team cheats.
Not the Cowboys.
Every
As a
team.
matter of fact, we get cheated on by Michael Parsons gets held every play.
Listen, this is the deal, fellas. Y'all, we can talk about this stuff for hours, okay? Hours. I love these brothers. Yeah, matter of fact, we was talking hours before we even started rolling. All right, fellas. So now's the time. Listen, how we rate our food. We rate it in touchdowns, 3 points, and a challenge flag. All right? We're going to go from my right to my left. Well, you're right. Well, anyway, we're going to start with you. Now, what do you think?
Well, I mean, just based on what I have here, the ribs, you know, wasn't to my true liking. So I will give it a field goal, just based on the toughness of the meat. Seasoning was pretty good, but for the most part, field goal.
All right.
The rib tray, I'm just telling Keith, the rib tray was decent, little dry. Like Darryl said, excellent seasoning. But when it's dry and a little tough, it's crazy. But the standard ribs, tough on the meat. Seasoning was good. Not used to sugar in the barbecue. So, there's a sweetness that comes from something entirely different, so we can't divulge the family secrets. But, having that sauce. So, I'm going to have to punt on this and give him a field goal.
Okay. Okay.
Well, I'm one that suggested it to John to go pick it up, but I have to give it a field goal too because of the toughness. And then the rib tray, so we have two different kinds, you point that out. We have the baby back on Saturday. That's when they do it. That's why I told John to stop by there. They have it on Saturday. Every Saturday they got the baby back. But they have the ribs all the time. It reminds me of when we used to get them out the box,
Right.
the old box for $5.
Right.
It's without seasoning. That's without seasoning, which should be with seasoning. I think they should season the pig, whatever they should have done prior. And then, because it's lacking what we used to get in that box. It was spicy and seasoned in that box.
That vinegar bacon.
That vinegar bacon. And then the ribs were tough. I had to break mine apart, John caught me. I had to break mine apart before we got on the air because I didn't want to use.
Yeah. I got you.
So I give it a field goal.
I'm in agreement most part with you guys. Now it was kind of hard for me to judge because I hadn't ate anything all day, and I can't. When this camera turns off, I'm gonna really dig into it. But it was okay. It wasn't the best that I've had. I'm kind of teetering on a field goal also. So we're all in agreement. 3 points.
3 points.
For Will.
3 points.
But listen, we appreciate you anyway. We're gonna finish a lot of this stuff on our next episode. Thank you for coming out, my brother.
Welcome.
Y'all don't know this too. And the reason why he ain't talking like he want to talk about the Cowboys, y'all know he's a sports agent, right? And so he might have somebody going to the Cowboys. He's a legitimate sports agent. Am I right?
You're right.
He's legit. So he's got to kind of hold back a little bit. I'll let y'all know what he say. When he.
Oh, I can tell you the Cowboys suck.
But what we found out early on is he was drafted by them and didn't want to go. Now that's crazy.
Supplemental draft.
Hey, listen.
Different than that.
Okay, but either way it go, you say no, I don't want to go. I want to go play overseas.
They talking deep now. Listen, guys. Listen. Thank y'all for tuning in. Appreciate you guys. Until next time, keep it safe on Chop It Up Sports.